Welcome back, my freedom-loving community. It has been quite an adventure. If you've been following along in the scheme of my channel, Drew Hoagland / Maine Stream Current now was Me News for Me previously, then you know that big things have been changing quickly and it's exciting. And in these videos, it's kind of hard to keep up, to be honest, because I do have a team post-production. Shout out, thank you. And so when I finish filming a video, I send it to them, they do their thing, they send it back to me, and then I upload it. And because of that, it takes a little bit longer and it doesn't feel quite as me to you, but at the same time, I also think that it's a little bit more direct because a lot of the pauses and BS are pulled out of it and then it's more directed towards you. And so while you're there listening, while you're there watching, while you're there doing your thing, I hope that it's easier for you to understand where it's coming from. Let me know in the comments below, because this is where you, as part of the community, really help me. So that being said, I have a few different headlines to get through with you. I want to get back to just bringing Maine news to you. That was part of the reason that I got involved with YouTube in general, was when I went on to find updated weekly news in Maine. It was very hard to find. So I'm trying to make it easier. I'm trying to make it more straightforward. That being said, I sometimes have to wait until a more sensational headline comes along. So that being said, I am gonna try to just bring you headlines from what the news offers weekly, rather than what I think I should draw from the news that week that would make the most clicks, if that makes sense. So just getting into some headlines today. I want to get into what is offered before we actually delve deep into it. So Maine's upcoming vote on phasing out gas cars explained by Bangor Daily News. Then we have a unique new detox and treatment facility coming to Maine. Of course, it's coming to Maine because where Maine starts, the rest of the nation follows. We have Collins, King, and Pingree. They want to extend a program supporting asylum seekers. Wait for my opinion on that at the end. So firstly, we have Maine's upcoming vote on phasing out gas cars explained. So Maine's upcoming vote on phasing out gas car sales explained by 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗢𝗏. Augusta, Maine. The Maine Board of Environmental Protection is set to vote just before Christmas on controversial rule aimed at phasing out new sales of gas-powered cars and boosting electric vehicle adoption. The 2021 vote will come after months of passionate debate and feedback on the plan the Natural Resource Council of Maine and several allies proposed this summer through a little-known provision in state law allowing citizens to bypass the legislature and ask agencies to adopt or change rules if at least 150 registered voters sign a petition. The board looks likely to approve the new rule modeled after California's EV plan, although car dealers have shared skepticism about demand and Republicans in the minority at the Democratic-controlled state house have tried in vain to stop the plan from advancing. What would the rule require? The Advanced Clean Cars 2 plan would require battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles to make up 43% of new car sales for 2027 models and 82% of new sales by model year 2032. Officials noted earlier this year electric vehicles were making up just 6% of new sales in Maine. NRCM and other supporters have noted it would not require anyone to give up current vehicles, nor would it apply to used car sales. The proposed rule would not go as far as California's requirements to end the sale of gas-powered vehicles by 2035, but it would direct Maine to review progress by 2028 to determine if it should ultimately adopt the 2035 mandate. The electric vehicle rule would not apply to emergency off-road, rural postal carrier, and military vehicles, along with rental vehicles with a final destination outside of Maine. Will Maine enact similar sales requirements for electric trucks? It doesn't look like it, citing concerns over cost logistical issues. The board agreed in October to not have staff move forward with the Advanced Clean Trucks plan that would ultimately similarly try to encourage electric truck sales. It was pushed by environmentalists, but was called unworkable by trucking interest. Still, Josh Caldwell, NRCM's climate outreach coordinator, noted that a state medium and heavy-duty electric vehicle roadmap is in development based on feedback from a working group that met in 2022. How is the board leaning on the EV rule? Through an informal straw poll at its October meeting, 4 of the 7 board members indicated support for advancing the electric car rule. 2 were opposed and 1 was absent. Each of the 7 board members were each appointed or reappointed by Governor Janet Mills, a Democrat and confirmed by the legislature. So sus. So sus. While staff could return with suggested tweaks to the proposal at December 21st meeting, Caldwell said supporters have not heard of any planned changes. That doesn't give me hope. How many EVs are on the road in Maine? The Maine Climate Council released updated figures December 1st, showing 12,369 electric vehicles are on the road, about 3,000 more than last year. It is still a long way from the Mills administration of having 219,000 EVs registered in Maine by 2030. Cumberland County has the most EVs overall at per 1,000 people at 16, according to state data. Hancock and Knox counties are just behind at 13 and 12, respectively. What have supporters and opponents argued? Supporters have said the rules will position Maine among the dozen states with California-style EV rules that manufacturers send vehicles to first, and that Maine is expanded charging infrastructure via federal funds. We're not going out on an island here, Caldwell said, noting the governor's energy office previously presented to the board on charging infrastructure readiness, but has not explicitly taken a position on the rule. Mills has said she opposes copying California's 2035 mandate. More than 1 million all-electric vehicles have been sold in the US this year, tripling sales from 2020, which Bloomberg's energy research arm said is proof that concerns of an electric vehicle slowdown have been greatly exaggerated, and that President Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act and federal tax credits have spurred EV adoption. Republicans have argued EV requirements are not appropriate for a state like Maine with long, cold winters, and pointed to automakers like Ford pausing investments due to buyers becoming more cautious as the average EV price, without incentives, hovers around $52,000. A panel of top lawmakers voted against allowing a bill from Representative Joshua Morris, a Republican of Turner, that would enhance legislative oversight of EV rules to receive consideration in 2024. Maine Automotive Dealers Association President Tom Brown testified in August that dealerships have unsold electric vehicles rather than a supply problem, and that his group supports voluntary selection by customers. What's happening in Congress? Oh, that's such a good question. What is happening in Congress? Are they paying attention to our concerns? I have a feeling they're not. Electric vehicles have also received attention on Capitol Hill. U.S. Representative Jared Golden, a centrist Democrat representing Maine's 2nd District, joined House Republicans in voting to pass a bill Wednesday that would block the Biden administration proposal to require up to 2/3 of new vehicles sold in the U.S. to be electric by 2032. Golden, who opposes the state plan, said favoring vehicles that we don't currently have technology or the necessary infrastructure to support is unwise. There you go, Jared Golden. You, for once, are in the opinion of your constituents, so way to go. I support that. Continue thinking and voting as your constituents say. Here's the thing about EVs. Electric vehicles. Who is ready for them? I mean, Texas, who's on its own electrical grid, and California, which is on a different grid from Texas, had brownouts, blackouts. They cannot sustain it. You try to drive across country and your car cannot make it. Even if you make it to a recharging station, you have to wait in line at times with other people, sometimes babies, with families with babies. Are you really going to try and compete with that? Or are you going to let that family with a baby charge up first and go? Because I would hope you would, because that's decent. We're not ready for electric vehicles. This is a pipe dream. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. It is too soon. It is too soon. It is too much. We have too much else going on. This is not where our focus should be. It is not. We have unique new detox and treatment facility coming to Maine. Governor Mills announces $3.5 million in funding for 2 projects. Augusta, Maine. Governor Janet Mills announced Monday that her administration is investing $3.5 million to expand substance use disorder (SUD) services in Kennebec and Washington counties. In Kennebec County, the Maine Department of Health and Human Services Office of Behavioral Health (OBH) will support SUD receiving center and medically monitored withdrawal detox program. This facility will be the first of its kind in Maine, combining a traditional 10-bed withdrawal management program with a walk-in receiving center that will operate 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. People will be able to walk into the facility with no appointment and receive triage services, screening and assessment, referral for ongoing needs, and a bridge to treatment services such as individual and group therapy, wound care, and medication management. At least 40% of the occupancy in the center will be available to people who have coverage through Maine Care. The legislative appropriation approved by state lawmakers included $400,000 in one-time funding for the development of the center and $1.6 million for the ongoing operations of the center. In Washington County, OBH is making up to $1.5 million available to establish additional SUD residential treatment beds. The funding will support renovation, capital and startup costs related to new or expanded treatment beds and medically supervised withdrawal beds. The funding can also be used to support workforce, training needs, equipment, and other costs of establishing bed capacity. These investments, along with the collaborative work being done by our local partners, will help ensure that Maine people suffering with substance abuse disorder can access the treatment they need to begin the lifelong path to recovery, said Mills. My administration will continue to work in partnership with the legislature and the recovery community to prevent and treat addiction and to save lives. It's good. I mean, we need something to help people that are dealing with addiction, but we also have to deal with why people are dealing with addiction to begin with. So it's a multifaceted, we have to begin somewhere. So I'm glad it begins here. So we go to Collins, King, and Pingree want to expand program supporting asylum seekers. Members of Maine's congressional delegation are calling on the Biden administration to help Maine better support people seeking asylum. In a letter on Thursday, Senators Susan Collins and Angus King, along with Representative Shelley Pingree, want to remove a limit on the federal shelter and service programs. That program currently funds services supporting migrants who've arrived in the U.S. within 45 days. But the Maine lawmakers want that period to extend to 180 days so service agencies can still get support and people seeking asylum can get more assistance. I mean, honestly, why even write this article to begin with, WGME? Because it's like 75 words, and even my team is going to be struggling to expand this into a desirable view length. So this is such a complicated issue because you have Maine government, US government saying, we're open for business. Literally, Janet Mills changed Maine's logo to, we're open for business. We're for hire. I mean, that's what she did. We're open for business. And so what do you expect when people from other countries, people that want the American dream, they want the American dream. You cannot blame people for wanting what we have in America. What we have in America is unique, inspirational, groundbreaking. It is all around desirable. So I cannot blame other people from other countries being told, come to us. We will take care of you. We will take care of you. Which is what sanctuary cities were saying. Portland, Chicago, you name it. Those cities, those sanctuary cities are saying, come to us and we will take care of you. So me as an American, as a Mainer, I didn't ask for any of that. However, I understand that my government, who didn't represent me, who did not represent me, said that to you. You come and you are welcome. It is two different narratives. I didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that. You heard that and you came. I heard what was being said and I couldn't really do anything against it. So you as an immigrant here to America, you're being told that you will be welcomed, that you will be ushered in, that you will be given X, Y, and Z. That's an American dream. And that's what us Americans also dream for. So now we're being promised the same thing, but we're almost having to compete for it, and it's intentional. That's evil. That being said, immigrants that have come to Maine, people that have come to Maine from outside of Maine, whether you're outside of the state, whether you're outside of the country, you have found yourself here in Maine. Welcome, and prepare to work your ass off, because I work my fucking ass off. I am from here. I am from Maine. I left Maine so I could travel. I came back to Maine. I work my ass off. You work your ass off. We work our ass off, and we have so much more in common than anyone else that's leading us. It doesn't matter if you're from Sudan. It doesn't matter if you're from South Korea. It doesn't matter if you're from Bolivia. Welcome, but prepare to work your ass off. Because I do, and I'm from here. So we can work our asses off together. So as an immigrant, so Collins, King, Pingree, they want to extend the support for asylum seekers. I'm so sus about that, because why are you trying to get these people here into Maine? It seems like such a deliberate act, but should you find yourself here in Maine, prepare to work your ass off. I work my ass off, and at times I feel like I'm barely making it. You don't get to come from another country, come here and feel better or get anything more than someone that works their ass off. So whether I was to go, like me personally, if I was to go to Bangladesh, I would not expect anyone to pay for me. I have to work my ass off. You have to work your ass off. Let's work our asses off together, and we will figure out how to come to common grounds. Because the people that are allegedly over us, they're no one. They're no one. Forget them. Literally forget them. They are worth nothing. And that's personally my opinion. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and leave some like and comments down below. Share this video if you found something inspiring. And if you don't know what else to put, go ahead and put a mountain emoji down below, so that way I know that you made it to the end of the video. As always, I thank you for your participation and for your involvement, your engagement. And until the next video, have a great day.